Fuse Community Call. This is our regular call, so we lift the lid and dive deeper into everything that's been happening at Fuse. With so much happening, it is tough to stay on top, so that's why we're here. My name is Ian Kane, and I'm here to guide this call and make sure that the community gets their questions answered. So speaking of that, today we've got $200 up for grabs in Fuse tokens, and they are for good questions, great questions, in fact, not just good questions, great questions. So if you think you've got a killer question, and I choose to read that out, you'll be eligible for some Fuse rewards. So it's a good chance to get in there and ask those questions. It doesn't matter if you're watching on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, or LinkedIn. Just drop the comment into the live stream and I'll see that over here. All right, so into today's AMA. So we've got a really focused agenda today, and we're here to reveal more details about the Web3 Business Grants program that we launched. And that was last week, so we're here today to dive into it a bit deeper. And because it's such a significant opportunity for innovators and Web3 businesses, we really wanted to put to bed any uncertainties and clear up any of the details for what's on offer with this Web3 business grant. So today I'm joined by two members of the core business team. I've got Ira and Emmanuel here. So guys, why don't you introduce yourselves quickly and tell the community what you do at Fuse. Emma, can we hear from you first, please?
Yeah, of course. I'm Emmanuel Ibanehita. I'm currently CMO at Fuse Network. I'm currently in charge of everything that has to do with marketing, growth, and also the entire ecosystem for both Fuse and also for Voltage. That's what I'm currently doing. Thanks, yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. Ira?
Hi, I'm Ira. I'm the CEO of Fuse, and I'm the behind-the-scenes person. So probably, most likely, I have something to do with pretty much everything that you see and hear about Fuse. So blame me for everything that you don't like, and give me credit for nothing.
Wow, what an introduction. So I just want to double down on these two because these are two of the best people I've worked with in my time. So anything bad they said about themselves, they're just making it up. Don't worry about that. So let's jump in. All right, guys. So thank you to both of you for introducing yourselves there quickly. So what we're here today to talk about is the Fuse Web3 Business Grants program. There's going to be a QR code on the screen from time to time. If you're more interested in finding out more details and applying, just scan that code and you'll go straight through to the place where you can do that. All right, so let's jump straight in. No time to waste. So what I've been doing is kind of rounding up all the questions that everyone was asking, community members, general people, my mother, asking questions about this business grants program. So the first question I've got, pretty simple. Can you provide an overview of the Fuse Web3 Business Grants program and what are the main objectives in the Web3 space? Emma, I think you want to take that one?
Yeah, so in a nutshell, Fuse is committed to fostering a thriving ecosystem for Web3 innovations. And this is what our grant program seeks to achieve, right? And this supports to our dedication to providing an essential resources for businesses to flourish in the Web3 space, right? The grant program, like everyone knows right now, is a multi-million initiative designed to enable companies building on Web3 or enabling companies to build on Web3 payment system with ease, eliminating all the complexities that has to do with the development or the brainstorming or the marketing that has to do with for their product that they're building. So basically, it's designed to support global businesses by providing essential funding, infrastructures, for streamlined access to Web3 payment system. All right. I think in a nutshell, that's what it is. It's just an initiative aimed to drive the evolution of Web3 technology across the world. And emphasis here on global, because Fuse is multi-layered to providing the assistance, end-to-end and technical capabilities to businesses that are looking to build on Web3. Basically.
All right, good, nice one, Emma. Thank you. So that gives us like the outline of what the program is and who it's for. And we're going to dive way deeper into each aspect of that and try to outline who exactly it's for, who should apply, who shouldn't, and things like that. So getting into that again. So Emma, what specific types of projects and initiatives to Fuse? What are the Web3 business grants? What are you aiming to support and fund? Who do you want to see applying for this?
Yeah, so in a nutshell, we're looking at industries, builders, developers, industries in the Web2 going to Web3, and we're looking for In fact, the program basically invites applicants from various sectors, and I'm going to list out all these sectors. One, businesses seeking to bolster user acquisition through Web3 communities, fintech firms aiming to implement non-custodial mobile solutions, also companies looking to digitize their consumer clubs or create a digitized loyalty program. It's also focusing on reaching to fintech, addressing various payment-related pain points, such as the unbanked communities and digital identities or currency volatility. We're also focusing on reaching out to central exchanges that wants to explore non-custodial wallet solutions. All right, and also Web3 startups requiring a resilient, compatible network with the fee sponsorship, more like a gaslight transaction, and also business apps integrated in the crafted blended stablecoin for enhanced brand visibility. And I think lastly, for local payment solutions eyeing some sort of global expansion. All right, and these are most of the businesses, I think, in a nutshell, that we really want to reach out to, and we're aiming for them to actually apply for this program and get into the grant. Maybe Ira want to throw some light in this part.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and we will, I think we've got already a couple of questions about what type of projects and so let's maybe about the projects, and maybe I'll jump to a different question that we received beforehand on
Great.
who can apply.
Mhm.
Ian, if you don't mind me being bossy, on who can apply for the Fuse Web3 Business Grant and what criteria will be used to select the recipients, which is an excellent question.
Okay.
So to address that, I'm going to start with very simply. Let's start from who are you, Mr. Applicant or ma'am? Who are you? So you are a team of entrepreneurs or developers, innovators. Maybe you're a small business. Maybe you're a fintech. Maybe you're a startup. Maybe you are a business, a brick and mortar business, what we call a normal one. You can be a team of 3 developers that are starting off. You just incorporated or maybe just build a website and design your product and flow, and you have a good idea. Or maybe you're a company of 30 people and you are already operating for a year. So you can be really all sorts of personalities and types of groups, but how mature are you? So you can be pre-product at the seed stage, and we'll talk later about who you cannot be, and it's completely okay if you didn't fully develop your product and you're just assessing different infrastructure and technologies. Maybe your developers aren't quite sure on which network to build on, and they're testing several, and you're looking for the best EVM compatible network, and you're considering what is right for you. Maybe you're looking for the best non-custodial solution out there, and you are not quite sure which of the available products and services is the best for you. So it's okay if you're at this stage. You can definitely be a startup that is in the midst of fundraising now and just meeting VCs and angel investors. It's okay if you haven't raised your first $35 million. You can be developing your product and considering and testing it with like an MVP and or a proof of concept. That's also okay. Or you can be far more mature. Maybe you already have a product and you're looking to expand it, change it, transition into Web3, maybe incorporate some of our infrastructure, and that is also a good fit. Now, I saw a question about demographics, and that's a very good one. So, what's your country? So, you can be from Africa or Australia, Canada, Thailand, India, or the UAE, Brazil, or Poland. It doesn't matter. The beauty about Web3 that Web3 knows no limits and borders, and neither do we, and neither does our grant program. So, it really doesn't matter, and we walk it like we talk it. We currently have businesses that operate in Thailand and those that work in Canada. We have different applicants from Argentina and Brazil, and we have those that operate in Spain. And it really doesn't matter. It's not about demographics. You can be from whatever country. It's definitely open and global. Now, as regards industry, the beauty about Fuse, and I definitely invite you to see some of our success stories about business and case studies about businesses already operating and powered by Fuse, is that we're industry agnostic. So like Emmanuel mentioned, you can be a fintech company that deals with payments and considers expansion into Web3, or you can be a car wash business looking to digitize your customer club and consumer engagement. You can be a coffee shop that is looking to switch your buy 10 cups of coffee and get one for free with Web3 loyalty, or a food delivery app in England. You can be dealing with unbanked communities in Africa, or working to expand the love of sneakers in Canada and the United States. Or maybe you're a central exchange that is looking for a non-custodial solution because everyone knows that if these are not your keys, then this is not your money. And all of these examples that I've just given you are actual examples of businesses powered by Fuse. So whatever the pain point that you're dealing, if it's related to payments and loyalty and Web3 actual use cases, Fuse is probably a potential suit for you. So again, you can be a charity donation center looking for a secure and convenient way to facilitate donation to end destinations, or you can be dealing with currency volatility in Venezuela. It really doesn't matter. So the best by the way, the best way to know if you have a relevant use case is literally drop us a line and ask. So that deals with the question of who you are, where are you from, what do you do, and how mature are you. So if you have additional questions about these, please drop us a line in this chat as well.
Nice. Thank you, Ira. That's really cool. We're getting a lot of questions here, so I'm trying to just batch them up and see what's most important. So after talking about that, Ira, I think you've done a really good job there. I think people should now understand. We're going to move into who shouldn't apply in a second.
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
That's a fun part. So first, Emma, I want to jump into, are we, in terms of regions, countries, Ira did touch on this, but I just want you to reinforce it a little bit. You know, are we targeting particular regions or countries, or is this a global program?
So this is purely global, right? The program is totally global. Although, just like Ira mentioned, we've seen growing interest in Nigeria, in Kenya, and India, right? And some areas in the UK, US, and North America, but it's purely global. If you're in Europe, you're in South America, you're in Latam, jump on this, right? We encourage startups and startups with a lot of initiatives around Web3 to jump on this program. Right. So when we say global, we mean it actually. Right. And also we've today, just to mention, we're part of the various businesses that we're running on Fuse right now. Ira mentioned something around some of the businesses running in North America and also some parts in Africa as well. You know, we're looking to support other new businesses, other entrepreneurs, other developers building within the space. You know, so to answer your question in a nutshell, Ian, the program is totally global, basically.
No restrictions. Anybody can apply.
No restrictions.
Okay, cool. All right. So, Ira, what I want to do now is I do want to jump into who shouldn't apply. And while you're going through that, I'm going to scale through the questions and see what I can find here that we should answer. So Ira went through who should apply. And now there's an equally sized list for who shouldn't apply. Ira, go. I really love this section. Go.
So let me be really clear, and I'm going to be a bit blunt about it in my own lovely personal style. Who should not apply?
Yeah.
If you woke up today this morning, you opened your Twitter account or LinkedIn, and you saw the announcement for the Fuse Business Grant, and you said, "Oh, goody. I can get funding while I'll think of a nice idea, because I usually come up with good ideas. So let me hop on a meeting and see if I take my chances because applications are free." That's probably not for you. If you woke up yesterday in the morning and you said to yourself, me thinks me has a good idea, give me money, and you don't have any previous experience and you didn't really think it through, and essentially you have no technical knowledge, no developers in your team, nothing, this is probably not for you either. If you think that if you are essentially, and please excuse my language, a bounty hunter with a tendency to hop between different projects and different grants and just go from one grant to another to expand and extend your runway, then we are probably not for you either. And if you didn't really think your idea through, and you don't really know which market you want to operate in, who are your potential users, what would you be offering to them, then we're probably not for you either. And I will also add that if you're there's no other way to call it, but a smoking ape, smoking monkey, JPG type of project, essentially, and this is the type of usage that you propose for NFTs as a real world use case, then this is not the business grant for you either. So in order to make sure that we don't accidentally think that your bona fide application is one of these categories that I just enumerated, I would strongly suggest that you take your application seriously. So when you apply, don't just write what can Fuse do for you, or under what Fuse can do for you, or something like that. I want money, or I need funding, or I want to expand my business on Web3. Take it seriously. Give us a couple of lines about what you do. Let us know that you mean business, so we will know that you mean business, and you will be potentially eligible for a business grant. This is really the type of message that I would like to leave people with. This grant is not a substitute for VC money. It's not free money. It's not a substitute for your fundraising. We will not be handing out millions per each project just for a good idea. It is for providing financial, technical, strategic, and commercial support within the Web3 ecosystem to real world use cases in order to build on Web3. We did not become a VC overnight for pre-seed companies and projects. This is really something that I want to stress. And even if we were a VC for pre-seed projects, we would still do our due diligence and be really selective on where we put our money. So this is definitely something that I can leave you with.
Yeah. I think I should add to what you just said, Ira, about why should they apply, right? So just to buttress the point you mentioned, aside from the potential monetary support that we're going to be given, applicants can stand to benefit from the technical mentorship. All right, we have a developer system that can actually assist you when you're trying to probably build your idea, or integrating, and we can help you integrate the best infrastructure, right? That will match your product needs. All right, and also you get a marketing support. All right, depending on what kind of exposure you're looking to, or what market you're looking to get that exposure, you get the assistance from us, and also the robust infrastructure that the Fuse ecosystem possesses as well. Yeah, I just thought I should mention that, Ian.
No, it's really good to add that. I think it's really important as well, man.
Yep.
It's a lot of information we're going through here, but we're covering the main things. Okay, so I've picked out some questions. We've actually answered some of these questions already, so just scooting forward a little bit. This is quite a good one, quite simple, but I think quite important. Let me pull this up. How does the application process for Web3 business grants actually work? I think what this person is probably thinking about is timelines, the general kind of basic process. So I don't know who wants to take that one.
Happy to take this on, and Emma, please check me if I'm not being accurate. So we start off by having an open deadline at first. at first step, it's at the first stage, we have an open deadline for these applications, which means that we assess them on a rolling basis. So please bear with us. The fact that you applied, say, today doesn't mean that 300 people didn't apply yesterday. And it definitely doesn't entail an immediate answer by tomorrow. So because it's on a rolling basis, keep in mind that certain things may take time, and I will be also very transparent with you and let you know that so far this grant has been very successful. We've launched it last week and we've gotten, and I'm being serious, hundreds of applications, and I'm really happy about that. I'm genuinely really happy about that, and I can't wait to go through all of them and seeing what's what and meeting you potential candidates when time is due. So once we start assessing an application, we do a first assessment based on the submission. This assessment is really binary. And this is why I said previously, and if you're just joining us, please do scroll back a couple of minutes earlier to when I was talking about who should not be applying to this. So I asked you to take your application process seriously because we're dealing with hundreds of applications and we treat them with due respect. Indeed, we skim through them and review them separately. So we look at an application and assume that all the information we have before us is the information which you have provided. So in certain instances, when we have uncertainties, we will revert back to the applicant and say, we didn't quite understand, or we are missing some information, or some things aren't quite clear. Could you kindly clarify? And then we will continue to revising this application once we have complete information.
Just quick, in that case, it would be a project that had already piqued our interest to some level, though, right? We're not going to reach out to everyone and
honestly, yeah, exactly. So it probably something there is probably quite intriguing, but we're not quite sure. It has je ne sais quoi, some potential, but we're not quite sure, and we don't want to overrule it and reject it completely.
Got it.
In other instances, the choice is really a yes/no kind of situation, right? So it's either good enough for us to send an immediate email for a follow-up meeting, and then you will have a call with our head of operators, Omri, who did an AMA on our Telegram channel, which is also completely available for you, and I invite you to have a look at the questions and answers that were there, because I see on the chat that some of these questions were already addressed there. So Omri will schedule a meeting, an initial meeting, to understand the project and again assess its potential. I can already say that some meetings have already been scheduled with some of the projects we have reviewed, and again we're reviewing them on a rolling basis. We're getting hundreds of applications over the past week. After this meeting, the decision is again binary. It's either let's proceed to another meeting and get our tech people involved and start a bona fide and on the merits bona fide discussion about the technical potential and the type of work that is necessary, followed by another discussion on the commercial terms. How much grant and what type of support and what type of assistance does this project merit? These discussions vary in time and scope. Some projects are more developed and advanced and mature than others. Some need more assistance. I can tell you from our personal experience with businesses powered by Fuse, with some of them, it is months of discussion of technical integration, not on our account, but on the account of the project, simply because it's not sufficiently mature. So whenever we ask something, it will take the team internally a couple of weeks to revise and so on. We are very patient and very flexible. And I assure you that when a project merits attention, it will receive our full undivided attention until the situation is exhausted. That said, what interests people here is, when do I know if I'm actually eligible for a conversation or not? The answer is that you will probably know where you stand after the first call with Omri. You will get a strong situation, and if it's a go ahead, and if it's a no-go, you will receive an email thanking you for your time and letting you know that it is a no-go. So again, please, everything starts from your application. The clearer it is, the more exhaustive it is, the more elaborate it is, the better the chances that you will proceed to the next stage of actually having a call with a Fuse manager and actually proceeding in the process. So we try to make it not difficult, not too strict and not too rigid, but also not too fluid, flexible, and unclear.
Yeah.
You will have our most undivided, fullest attention. We only ask you take it seriously.
Okay. Emma, have you got anything to add for that in terms of like what, from a marketing perspective, what these projects should understand about what they're trying to build? Just any sort of knowledge and advice really from your side in that area.
All right. I think what I want to add is, first, you need to know what exactly you want to build, right? You have to be thorough in terms of what kind of project you want to build and what kind of problem is it going to be solving. We expect some sort of meaningful effort to validate and refine your approach, to these things. And also we expect you to think broader. All right. How does your project connect to the entire industry? How does it complement or enable the work of other projects? And also you have to be very realistic, in terms of what you need. So I see some projects that apply asking for $1 million. How does that make sense when you're trying to build something as small that's not even scalable? You just got to be very realistic. So your project and the discussions you're going to be having with the head of operators can move forward in your application.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just thought I should mention that because a lot of people can just put in different figures because, hey, it's a grant, right? They just jump on it and do exactly what your mind tells them.
I think it's really important points, right? Like if you're going to get a lot of applications, it's not hard to see which people have paid attention and actually are applying correctly and which are just out for a bounty. So we're not stupid, guys. Take the points and do your job properly, basically, I guess is the point. Okay, so I just want to work through to this next question. This is talking about support. We're talking about support that Fuse gives. Now, we talked about monetary support here in the terms of grants. And what this person is asking is, how does Fuse support developers? Because we've obviously been talking a lot recently about our tools, FuseBox, Fuse Mobile, and Connect as well. How does this, I don't want to linger on this for too long, but how does what we're building here at Fuse assist if you're successful in your grant? What are you actually capable of doing here? Are we just giving money and then turning you out into an empty store? That's not the case, right?
No, not at all. So really, let's talk about what are you getting from Fuse. And this also touches upon a different question that I kind of saw amongst the, oh, sweet baby Jesus, how many questions amongst this mixed, which is what separates between Fuse and other projects and grants out there and so on. So let's start with the Fuse network. So what is unique about Fuse and separates it from other EVM compatible projects and networks is that Fuse is not just a network, an EVM compatible network. We're not just out there for the token and for the trading of our token or something like that. Fuse is actually an end-to-end blockchain-based solution for Web3 payments, specifically also for businesses, which means something. And what does that entail? It means that other than having our EVM compatible L1 blockchain that is quick, it means that a block is created in less than 5 seconds. It is relatively low in costs. Check our fees, check me on it. It's really cheap, compatible to others, say Ethereum and others. But it's not only that. We have our middleware. Ian, you mentioned the Fuse box. So everyone in the industry is talking about ERC 4337 and account abstraction. We're the OGs of account abstraction. We've been doing gasless transactions and fee sponsorship for years now with our previous centralized middleware, which we have now upgraded and replaced with a more sophisticated middleware that is decentralized and that is that allows, again, fee sponsorship and gasless transactions. But what does that mean in practice? So think that you're a business, or you're walking into a store and you're buying coffee today with your Visa card, say. So the coffee costs $5. What will you pay? You will pay $5, and that is it. The business will carry the fees and transactions and whatever that is associated with running this transaction on the Visa railways. But try paying for coffee with Ethereum, you will find it yourself needing to add fees and gas, right? So that makes blockchain a bit complex and a bit unsuitable, allegedly, for payments and for everyday businesses, because that essentially shifts the burden to the customer. There's no customer that wants the burden to be shifted to him. Yeah. So Fuse offers exactly this solution: the gas sponsorship, the gasless transactions. It allows businesses to sponsor the fees and have their end users, their customers, pay solely for the transaction, just as it is with a regular Visa transaction. And this is important. So we said the L1, which is EVM compatible and super efficient and cheap, the middleware that offers gasless transactions and additional nuanced and sophisticated applications. On top of that, we have our mobile first SDK, while other blockchain projects are also mobile or mostly desktop. We are mindful of the fact that at the end of the day, people today want to pay with their phones. Yeah. They don't want to open their computer. They don't want a desktop experience. They don't want to use Explorer. They want to use mobile first. So we have our non-custodial wallet that is fully compatible for both iOS and Android, which we can just plug and play, and a business can tailor make it to their own needs with their own UX, and even using our skins and our UX and so on. Additionally, we can have we have the full umbrella of the of APIs of everything that a business needs to run on Web3 and blockchain. Explorers, oracles, graphs, everything, we've got your back. It's really an end-to-end solution, not to mention auxiliary payment services like payment notifications and invoicing and everything that a business needs to run on Fuse. So you will be getting all of this, plus the technical expertise of the specialists and developers at Fuse. Our developers and engineers will work with you, with your development team and with your project to assist you in integrating these projects in the best way that suits your needs and does what you need for the success of your project. Okay. On top of that, you see Manuel here, my colleague, the CMO of Fuse. Him and his wonderful team will accompany you and assist you in announcing the project, leveraging our ecosystem, making sure that all of our token holders, community members, ecosystem integrators are aware of the fact that we have a new business powered by Fuse that can benefit from everything that our community has to offer. And you will have the benefit of our expertise commercially and strategically to assist you in market penetration, to assist you in customer and consumer acquisition, finding the best possible strategies. You will have the benefit of our PR agency announcing a new business on Fuse and getting the word out. And on top of that, you will be receiving funding. So yeah, that is definitely hard. That's definitely a sweet deal if you're asking me.
That's pretty good. Emma, do you want to add to that marketing side of things at all? I know Ira's covered a lot of it there, but kind of the support systems around.
Yeah, just to buttress that point, when it comes to marketing your Web3 project, right? I think you shouldn't have to worry. As far as you're part of this program, you've gone through the process and ticking your I's and crossing those T's. We will definitely give you that support within our community and outside, giving you that mainstream audience that you need, and also the Web3 crypto blockchain eyeballs that you need for your project as well. So I think you've got everything. We've got everything covered. I see a lot of questions around the ambassador program, right?
Yeah, let's finish with this one first. I see them, Emma, and I see you seeing them.
There's a lot of questions coming in that are a bit more detached from what we're discussing right now. I do want to say to the people asking those questions, thank you for those questions. But I did say at the beginning, this is quite a focused AMA. We have another AMA in about 2 weeks where these questions are really valid, but we will answer all of these. They are pretty clear questions.
Absolutely.
Let's get into that.
I do want to, Ian, with your kind permission, touch about something that popped to me, a question that asked about operators, saying that operators are essential to Fuse. And can we explain how do operators fit in all of this? So let me be clear. This is literally the operator grant program. We find that the difficulty with the term operator is that no one walks around the world, no one roams the earth with a little tag saying I'm an operator. So who is an operator essentially? An operator is a business that uses the Fuse infrastructure and runs the Fuse infrastructure in order to run its business. So all of the businesses that will be applying to become potential operators on Fuse, and those who will receive the grant will become operators on Fuse. Okay. So just to be clear on this point.
It's a good point, and it's something that we have sort of not struggled to explain, but it needs a bit more clarity there. So thank you for that. All right, cool. I've also seen a lot of questions, and it's something that I always end up talking about with people. Stablecoins. People are asking about stablecoins, and they're asking, we're talking about Web3 payments and apps that can handle crypto transactions. The instant assumption for a business owner is, oh God, the guy's going to pay me in Bitcoin. One day the pizza's $1, the next day it's worth $1 million. Can we dispel this, please? I've actually been writing about this today, but guys, let's talk about stablecoins on Fuse quickly. We know you've got FUSD and USDT and USDC, but who wants to just quickly go over why these are useful and the whole point of them in the ecosystem and how it facilitates what we're talking about, basically?
Absolutely. So if I may, and Emma, again, check me on this, stablecoins. Stablecoins are the essence and the core for payments. I'm going to express my personal opinion about Bitcoin for payments. And this is, again, just my personal opinion. It reflects absolutely nothing. I submit to you, and this is my personal suggestion and belief, that no one buys Bitcoin in order to buy milk in the grocery store. People buy Bitcoin and hold Bitcoin to trade Bitcoin, and usually for the long run, or they're trading futures, margins, perpetuals, what have you. But no one uses really Bitcoin as a method of payments. The type of digital assets that are convenient as a method of payment and leverage from the advantages that Web3 has to offer, i.e. cross-border transactions with speed, low costs, immediacy, security, and so on, are the stablecoins. Stablecoins are also convenient because they are very user-friendly. So if I'm in England, say, and you can hear by Ian's accent, for instance, that he is originated from that neighborhood. So for me, I'm used to paying in Great British Pounds in GBP. And if I want to get the benefits of the Web3, of everything that Web3 payments have to offer, what would be very intriguing and convenient for me is the option to pay and transact in stable coins that are pegged to the British pound. So I'm not concerned about volatility. I can understand that if this cup of coffee costs 10 pounds, then I will pay for it, 10 pounds. Yeah. My transaction behind the lid, underneath the hood, behind the lid, whatever, will be powered by blockchain. This is really convenient, secure, low in cost, high in speed, and everything for payments. So stable coins are really at the core, at the essence of the provision of payments on the Web3 ecosystem. And indeed, many of the businesses running on Fuse, one of the things that they utilize the Fuse infrastructure for is to mint their own stablecoin. One of our flag projects, and I saw questions about our flag projects and examples, is Bitaza, a central exchange operating in Southeast Asia, mainly in Thailand and Indonesia. They minted a stablecoin pegged to the Thai baht in order to facilitate easy, convenient, and user-friendly mobile payments powered by the Fuse network to their end users and to their onboarded merchants. So say I'm on an island in Phuket, Thailand somewhere, and I want to board the ferry and go to a different island. So I will just open my app, my Freedom Wallet app, scan the QR code of the ferry operator, pay the whatever cost of this transaction in bahts, and make my journey safely. Behind the scenes, this transaction is powered by Fuse and not actual fiat, but stablecoins pegged to the Thai baht. So this is just one example. You can definitely use Fuse for the ease and convenience of minting your own stablecoin. And we have different projects doing that. If time allows, I will provide additional examples, but let's leave it at that.
It's one of the most asked questions that I get, and I really hope that that's answered people's questions. It's about convenience, because obviously we don't want to transact in fluctuating crypto. So that's not what we're doing, and that's not what we're expecting people to do. I think it's really important. Okay, cool. I've been scanning through the questions. There's a lot of similar questions there. There's one question I really want to put onto Emma of what's going on out there and how Fuse is best placed to address those problems. There's a lot of competition out there for us, a lot of blockchains. Emma, how are we best positioned to kind of, firstly, what challenges and opportunities do you see, and how are we positioned to deal with those?
All right, so Fuse is a one-stop shop end-to-end payment solution. Like we all know, basically deal with this kind of issues. All right, so we would offer a business the whole umbrella, right? The mobile wallet for iOS and Android, the comfortable and the beautiful UX design, the umbrella of API and the auxiliary payment services. All right, Fuse Network is designed to address these challenges and leverage the opportunities that as we see in terms of scalability, in terms of user-friendly approach, and in terms of interoperability as well. In terms of scalability, basically the focus there is on offering low cost and fast transaction, which is very crucial for our everyday use, especially for our growing user base. And also on the user-friendly approach, we aim to provide a more user-friendly experience, basically, especially for users that are on the mainstream side trying to move into or adopt the Web3 payments movement right now. And I think, additionally, I think it's purely what we're looking at, and will solve this problem easily in the Fuse ecosystem. I don't know if I answered that question correctly, but I think that's what we kind of like. The Fuse network is designed to actually handle these challenges and also provide solutions.
One of the additions to that, I think, is, so we're saying that it's designed to handle it, and some of the questions coming in are saying, can you provide an example of how Fuse guarantees that? And straight top of my mind are projects like Good Dollar, where they're generating tens of thousands of transactions on a weekly basis on the Fuse blockchain. So does anybody else want to point at some of the projects that are building on or have built on Fuse that facilitate such lightning fast, cheap transactions? Some people don't seem to be aware of these.
So we have many examples, not just of the quick lightning speed transactions. That's the, let's say, the low hanging fruit. That's the common denominator of every blockchain that runs on an EVM compatible ecosystem that works, God willing. So which in our case it does. So Bitaza, which I previously mentioned, is but one example. Bitaza uses Fuse not just, as I mentioned, to mint a stablecoin pegged to the Thai baht, but also as a central exchange. Obviously, it has its own custodial solution, but it was in need of a non-custodial solution. Again, because we all know, not my keys, not my money. And this is exactly where the Fuse infrastructure came in handy. And our non-custodial mobile SDK, coupled with the ability to power transactions on the Fuse network in a cheap, fast, secure manner, really came in handy. And this is how they took our mobile wallet, which you can download from our website, by the way. And I invite everyone here to check it out and check out our docs and our new design on our lovely new website. They tailor-made it for their own needs. Again, with the assistance and guidance of our internal developers, they built their own UX. And based on this, they launched the Freedom Wallet app, which has thousands and tens of thousands of installations and uses daily, weekly, and monthly, and so on. So this is also an example.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put the link into the chat because actually the payments that we're powering next year, Bitaza are powering this festival, aren't they? The Mystic Valley Festival 2024.
Absolutely.
10,000 attendees to the festival, and the whole thing is being powered by on the Fuse blockchain. So I'm just going to put the link there for this. You guys can check that out.
Which is an excellent example of a completely cashless event.
Yeah.
Cashless, fiatless event. Just carry your phone and that's all you need to buy your drinks, to enter the venue, to get your merch, to have fun.
And not just for the users as well, for the actual organizers, they're using their devices as their point, as the infrastructure for this payment. So they're not having to invest money into new infrastructure, into new technology to make this all happen. They're just using their devices. So it's cost saves on both sides, basically. All right, so I've posted that in there. Lastly, I want to kind of draw this in, but before I do, I'm going to ask, there's one more question, and then I want you guys, if there's stuff about ambassadors and other questions that came in, if you want to nail those quick, we can do that right at the end, right?
So let me run quickly through some of the things that I've seen over the tremendous amount of questions. Really, guys, you're testing my ability to remain focused and read at the same time, which I definitely appreciate. So we've touched upon the criteria, the processes, the time frame, and who should apply and who should not apply, and what we're looking for in a project. I will again add to this one sentence. When you're applying, and this is true for any project and not just for the Web3 ecosystem, and definitely not just for a Fuse grant, it's true for any innovator or an entrepreneur who wants to build something. Ask yourself, do I understand the problem, or am I just thinking about the solution? Who is it that I'm really building for? Does anyone need it? Does this have an application? And we are really focused on real world use cases. And I gave several examples previously about businesses that have built on Fuse. And I said, I don't care if you're a car wash that wants to digitize your consumer loyalty, or a coffee shop that wants to trade in your buy 10 cups of coffee and get one for free with Web3 loyalty, or your central exchange in need of a non-custodial wallet, or you're a fintech that wants to expand to Web3 payments, or a donation charity company that wants to benefit from Web3 payments, speed, ease, cost, and so on, to facilitate the donations to your end destination. It doesn't really matter. Just understand what you're doing. And like someone once told me, try to be an aspirin, not a vitamin C. Try to solve the headache, not just be a supplement to something. Because if you solve someone's headache, then you're really a bona fide project. That's really what separates the men from the boys. And that definitely makes you an excellent applicant. But again, outside the scope of this grant, outside the scope of Web3. Ambassadors, we do have an ambassador program. It's open globally. There's an application. You can see the details on our TG channel and on our social media. In particular, if you're from the Latin American region, if you're from LATAM, we just published another call for application for ambassadors. But if you're not from LATAM, we have on a rolling basis ambassador program. If you have questions with respect to where you can get an information, I also saw this question, then we have a YouTube channel, we have a TG channel, we have social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, by the way, LinkedIn, emails, contact us on our website, new, beautiful, amazing website that I mentioned. So you can definitely reach us via pigeons and however else you want. We are accessible and our information is readily available. With respect to staking programs, yes, of course, you can stake. You can look it up online. There's on-chain staking. Every so often, we would even have designated promotions with respect to staking, so stay tuned. Something is definitely coming up again. You can see different activities and announcements about what we do that are published constantly. So please go ahead and check this out.
Yep. Great.
All right. There's one last question. Ira, you just nailed your part of it. Is there any sort of, this is a great opportunity for builders globally. Anything you want to add? You know, what would you say to someone who's about to start their application? What should they keep at the top of their mind, man? Like, what would your advice be?
So at the risk of being repetitive, I would say this. Try to ask yourself, who am I and where do I operate? So where do I operate is what market do I want to launch in? So maybe if you are from country X and you want to launch your product on the moon and you've never been to the moon before and you're not familiar with the moon, maybe the moon is not the best place to launch your product. So make sure that you know what market you're interested in and why. What's the justification of launching this product or service in that particular market? Know the characteristics. Then the next thing is know before whom you stand, right?
Yeah.
Know your audience. So who will be your end users? Are you a B2B2C type model? Are you a consumer-facing model? Do you need to also onboard other smaller merchants? And if so, to whom will you be making the offering? And how do these people or entities think and behave? What are their characteristics? Are they by what motivates them? What would get them going? Are these people or entities willing to pay money for what you are contemplating and offering? Because remember, like a company at the end of the day, not me, you guys, would aspire to generate revenue. You wanna like have food on the table and so on. So there's something that you probably would like to have some sort of a business model. After all of this, try to test it. Try to really have a discovery. Try to have discussions with people, see how they react to your idea. Don't fall in love with your own ideas. And again, everything that I'm saying is outside the scope of the particular application for the Web3 program. It's more of a thinking process that will make you a better applicant and will make your project better. But coming back to the very narrow point of application, I would say take it seriously. Write in detail who you are, what do you need. Don't go like this, I want $1 million, because we can smell it from a distance. Treat it seriously, so you will be treated seriously.
Yeah.
And this is what I have to say.
All right, cool. There was a really important question, actually, and we haven't covered this. We always miss the basics. When do applications open and close, and that information? So I posted the article. Off the top, I can't remember the date off the top of my head. It's December.
No, it ends December 22nd. Actually,
closing is December 22nd, right? And it's been open since the 27th of November. So it's open now, and it's open until the 22nd of December 2023. There are links here. You will land on this website, which is just totally focused on the grants program. You can find all the information you need there, and all the things we've gone through are repeated here as well, and all the links as well. If you still have questions, just holler, not a problem. All right, guys, I kind of think we nailed it. What do you reckon? Good?
Yep.
Yeah, please. I would definitely encourage everyone who feels that our questions were not answered, even after rewatching this very extensive video of me speaking a lot. Please do drop us a line on our TG channel. We have opened a designated TG channel for businesses on Fuse. Our community manager does a great job. He will respond to you. Our head of operators will engage with you. You will not be ignored. For any other question about the ambassador program, staking, about campaigns, promotions, generally whatever, please, again, drop us a line on the TG channel or in whatever means possible.
Thank you. Yeah, that's it. Reach
Yeah.
out, start the conversation. Emma, anything to add before we shut down for the call?
Yeah, so I think easiest way to reach out to us, the TG channel, and you can easily get that link on our Twitter page. You could just visit us or search for Fuse_network, and just click on that. Click on the Linktree link there, and to take you to all our community channels where you could join our Discord, our Telegram, and follow us and read our blog. You can get first-hand information right there. Fuse_network. You can get more information that you need right there. On our Twitter channel. Yeah.
All right, perfect. So you've got all the links, you've got everything you need, and hopefully we covered all the big questions. This content will be out as well forever to see. So if you want to catch up on it, you can. Somebody's just asked, what of the giveaway? A very good question, my man. I now need to go back and look through every single question, figure out which ones we asked, and then distribute the rewards. So please give me a little day or two to sort that out, and I will contact you all on the chat, okay? And I'll put, if you've been one of the questions that's been asked, I'll ask for your wallet address, and good luck. You've won something, so that's cool. All
Absolutely.
Right.
Good time to hold Fuse tokens, not financial advice.
Yep.
Not financial advice, but a very good time. All right, guys, thank you so much, Ira, Emma. Thank you so much for the AMA. Really appreciate your times. I'm sure that we got a lot of really cool comments saying good AMA. Thanks for your time. Blah blah blah. So it's been well received. We'll be back on the 20th of December, where we're going to do another community call, a bit more general, outlining where we're going next year and what we've been up to in the last year. Again, question-based. You got your questions, bring them in. All right, guys, thank you so much for your time. And we almost did it in under an hour, so we did okay.
Yep.
I will see all of you soon. Thank you for watching, and take care.
Bye.